I'll be honest. When I first heard about the Philippines, I thought I knew exactly what to expect. I'd seen the headlines, the stereotypes, the pictures online of crowded streets and broken homes, and I thought, yeah, this is just another poor country struggling to get by. I came here ready to feel pity, ready to document hardship, ready to see sadness. But what I found the moment I landed absolutely shattered everything I thought I knew. Because the Philippines I discovered wasn't broken, it was booming. I saw city skylines glowing like fire at night, people hustling with purpose, kids laughing with so much joy it could fill an entire street. Everywhere I turned, there was life. Not just surviving, but thriving. I saw coffee shops filled with young entrepreneurs, digital nomads running global businesses from their laptops, artists painting stories of resilience, and workers building infrastructures that rivaled major world cities. And in that instant I realized, this is not the poor country the world keeps labeling. This is a nation of strength, of soul, of unstoppable spirit. The Philippines isn't begging for sympathy, it's demanding recognition. Because behind every jeepney, every street vendor, every smiling face, there's a story of grit and brilliance that no poverty statistic can ever define. So if you think you know what the Philippines looks like, trust me, you don't. Stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you will completely change the way you see this country forever. When I first planned this trip, I had all these images in my head. Poverty, pollution, and people just trying to survive day to day. That's what the media always showed me. News headlines painted a picture of struggle, of corruption, of endless hardship, and like most outsiders, I believed it. I thought I'd be walking into a place defined by what it lacks. Money, progress, opportunity. I expected broken roads, slums on every corner, and faces weighed down by exhaustion. But the truth is, I came here with a one-dimensional story, a version written by people who had never truly seen the Philippines. I didn't expect to find laughter echoing through narrow streets, or kids playing basketball barefoot but smiling like champions. I didn't expect to see innovation happening inside humble homes, or the sheer kindness of strangers who'd give you their last meal without hesitation. My camera was ready to capture poverty, but instead it caught pride. In every handshake, every mabuhay, every moment that reminded me that wealth isn't just measured in dollars, but in heart. I realized the world had sold us a lie, because the Philippines isn't just about what's missing. It's about what's burning inside. Resilience, creativity, and joy that no amount of hardship can take away. The moment I stepped out of the airport, the first thing that hit me wasn't chaos. It was energy. Manila was alive. The streets were buzzing with people who moved with purpose. Jeepneys in every color imaginable painted the roads like a moving rainbow. Skyscrapers gleamed in the distance, and the smell of freshly cooked street food filled the air. It wasn't what I expected. It was better. I saw construction cranes everywhere, signs of growth, of a nation pushing forward one building, one business, one dream at a time. I met locals who spoke fluent English, juggling 2, sometimes 3 languages with ease. I saw young professionals in coffee shops creating startups, editing videos, coding apps, and working for international clients, all from their laptops. And it struck me. These aren't people waiting for change. These are people creating it. I traveled outside the city expecting to see despair, but instead I found beauty. Rice terraces that looked like nature's own staircase to heaven. Pristine beaches that could rival any tropical paradise. Families laughing together despite not having much, because they understood something the rest of the world often forgets. Happiness isn't found in wealth, it's built in community. The Philippines wasn't what the headlines told me. It wasn't the story of struggle I expected to document. It was the story of strength, of a nation that refuses to be defined by its challenges and instead chooses to rise above them, smiling all the way. The deeper I explored, the more my perspective shattered. Every day in the Philippines revealed a new layer of truth I never saw coming. I met a fisherman who told me he wakes up at 3 a.m. every day, not just to feed his family, but to send his daughter to college. I met a woman running a small sari-sari store who started with nothing but a single shelf and now helps her entire neighborhood through microloans. I met students walking miles to school, yet talking about dreams of becoming engineers, pilots, nurses, creators, and you could feel the fire in their voices. This wasn't poverty, this was persistence. It was passion dressed in simplicity. Even in areas the world might label as poor, I didn't see hopelessness. I saw people smiling, hustling, pushing forward. I visited communities hit hard by typhoons, where houses were rebuilt stronger, brighter, more colorful than before. No waiting for help, no begging for sympathy, just pure, relentless Filipino resilience. The kind that doesn't make headlines, but absolutely deserves to. Because here's the thing. Yes, there are struggles. But behind every challenge, there's innovation. Behind every hardship, there's a story of rebuilding. Behind every so-called poor Filipino, there's someone rich. Rich in determination, in love, in pride for their country. And that's when it hit me. Poverty isn't the absence of money. It's the absence of hope. And here in the Philippines, hope is something you'll never run out of. And then came the moment that truly changed everything. The moment I realized the world's perception of the Philippines isn't just wrong, it's insultingly incomplete. I remember standing in Bonifacio Global City, surrounded by glass towers, international restaurants, and digital billboards lighting up the night sky. This looked nothing like the poor country the internet warned me about. I walked into a cafe and met young Filipinos running online businesses, earning in dollars and euros, working with clients halfway across the world. One of them told me, "We don't wait for opportunities. We create them." And it wasn't just in the cities. Out in the provinces, I saw farmers using drones to monitor crops, teachers using tablets to reach students in remote areas, and communities powered entirely by solar energy. The creativity here was mind-blowing. Hand-woven crafts being sold globally through e-commerce, local tech startups building apps that solve real-world problems, and a booming tourism scene led by people who love their country enough to protect it. I remember standing on a mountain in Cebu, watching the sun rise over the islands, and realizing this place is far richer than most nations that call themselves developed. Not in money, but in innovation, in humanity, in heart. Because while others see poverty, the Philippines shows potential. While others see struggle, Filipinos see strength. The world says third world, but standing there, I saw a world-class nation in the making, powered by its people, rising faster than anyone outside dares to believe. That's when the truth finally sank in. The Philippines doesn't need anyone's pity. It deserves everyone's respect. The narrative of poverty and struggle that outsiders love to repeat completely ignores what's really happening here. A nation transforming from the ground up. I saw it everywhere. In classrooms where kids spoke about science, art, and technology with unshakable confidence. In small towns where locals were turning recycled plastic into building materials. In cities where innovation met tradition so naturally that it felt effortless. The Philippines isn't behind, it's becoming. It's quietly evolving while the rest of the world underestimates it. And maybe that's its greatest strength. Because Filipinos don't need validation from anyone else. They just keep going. Working abroad to support their families. Coming home to build businesses. Turning challenges into triumphs. The more I learned, the more I realized that poor isn't a fair word for a country rich in courage, creativity, and compassion. This is a place where neighbors still share meals, where strangers become family, where even in the hardest times people say, "Kaya natin to." We can do this. It's a country that doesn't break under pressure. It blooms. The Philippines taught me that true wealth isn't about money or luxury. It's about unity, pride, and the will to rise again no matter how many times you fall. And that kind of wealth? You can't measure it in numbers. You can only feel it. So here's what I want you to take away from this. The next time someone tells you the Philippines is poor, tell them they've clearly never been here. Because this country isn't poor. It's powerful. It's rich in culture, rich in kindness, rich in resilience that most of the world can only dream of. The Philippines doesn't need saving. It's already standing tall, building, creating, thriving in its own unstoppable way. I came here expecting sadness, but I found strength. I expected to see scarcity, but I discovered abundance, of talent, of laughter, of humanity. Every smile I saw on the street, every wave from a stranger, every salamat po reminded me that wealth isn't just about money in the bank. It's about the spirit that refuses to give up. And the Filipino spirit, it's unbreakable. It's the heartbeat of Asia, the soul of community. The living proof that hope can outshine hardship every single time. The world needs to stop underestimating the Philippines. Because while others are talking, Filipinos are doing. They're building futures, chasing dreams, and showing the world what real pride looks like. So if this story opened your eyes, if it changed even one thought you had about the Philippines, don't just scroll away. Share this video right now. Let the world see what the mainstream media doesn't. Tag someone who needs to see the real Philippines, not the filtered headlines. and comment below. I'm proud of the Philippines because this story deserves to be heard again and again. And hey, if you love stories that challenge perceptions and shine a light on truth, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because we're just getting started. And we'll keep showing you the world the way it really is. Raw, real, and full of surprises. The Philippines shocked me. Now it's time it shocks the world.